Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's TaxCycle webinar, and we are going to be chatting about T1 and T2 optimization. And you may already have known me now because I have been doing webinars previously. So my name is Parminder Kaur. I am a community success specialist at TaxCycle. So we are just going to quickly cover today the option setting, T1 optimization worksheet, and T2 optimization worksheet. So this will take us about 15 to 20 minutes. So let's hop out of here, and then we will let's get into our TaxCycle demo screen. We are in TaxCycle right now. So you will want to make sure that your options are set up for the preference that you want to have for your every new file that you're creating, and you do that by going into the option setting. You can get into the options from the sidebar here, or if you're like me, I like to have this little wrench at the top on my quick access toolbar, so I'm going to click here. So what you are looking here for is, if you scroll it down to T1, and then if you click on this arrow, it will expand the other options here, and then you want to click on new file settings. So I am into my options profile, so I will click on this blue link here to start making changes if I want to, and then I want to further scroll it down to get to my optimization preferences. So you can see we have the optimization preferences here. So if I stay on this tab, new file, T1, new file, and then we get into our optimization preferences, and then it will update all of my tax year or whatever the preferences I set here. So if I click on this particular little arrow right left beside to new file, so you can see that it expanded further to the year. So if I click on particular year, and if I want to set my preferences for the individual year, we can do that by clicking on that particular year and then make preferences for that particular one. And I can apply those preferences to the other years as well by right clicking. For example, if I have my preferences for 2022, and then I can apply it to 2023 as well. So that is handy as well. So if I am going to open my options profile from here, and then currently I don't have, let's go back first to set the global settings, and then we are clicking on new file, and then we are in optimization. So I don't have any preferences set for now, so I can choose whichever. You can choose whatever is your preferences. This is all depends on how you like to work with your clients, what kind of clients you have, and what makes sense for your practice. And typically we would want to maximize the refund or reduce the tax payable to zero, and you can do that for federal and provincial by selecting this one, or you can reduce either the federal, provincial, whichever comes first, or just the federal, or just the provincial as well. So let's make it maximum refund here by default, and then you can go ahead and hit apply. So I'm going to just click on here and then hit apply here. So then all my new files will start with this setup, and if I open existing file that does not match my options profile, it will give me a warning that the setting for my optimizations are different than what it was expecting, and you can choose to leave it or take the global setting that you have set up. So there is another minimum tax benefit to transfer here for the T1032. So if the optimization is only for $2 change, as you can see, probably don't want to go through all the work of doing T1032. So you can set your threshold here, what you want that to be. And for the family tax credit and the cut as well, you can see it here. So You can get into the T2 for the same process for T2, and we can click on here T2, and it will expand the section, and then new file. You will see there is an options for optimization as well, and you can see that it is turned off currently, and we can click on minimum taxable income as our setting. And again, because I am doing it from here from the new file, it is going to update all the tax years with this setting that I have chosen. And then also T3, in a similar way, we can hit apply here. And then for similar way, we have a T3, and then there is a new file, and we do have a optimization as well, an optimization worksheet. This works in a similar fashion to what I'm going to show you today. And I'm not going giving you a specific coverage, but we will look into the optimization worksheet for T1 and T2, and then we are, and let's do this way here and hit apply, and then okay. So let's dive into my T1 sample file here that I have created for our demo purposes today. And you can see that that I am getting a review message because my setting here in my local files are different from what I had just set up in my options profile. And I'm okay with that. And there might be a reason why this specific client might want, or it might make sense for a specific client to have a different type of optimization. You can set it here on the individual file and just clear that message. So to do that, you can just simply click on here or just hover the cursor over it, and then you can just sign it off if you want. And if you if you want to choose to accept it, you can do that. You can just accept the default optimization, and it will go back or restore your default setting. And and for some clients, no optimization makes sense at which point you can just select this and sign off those review messages as well if you select it. So the way this works is all of your key amounts where you have the option to have some discussions in how you apply or what order you apply the relevant tax credits or income splitting to a particular tax file. That will be shown all here on a single worksheet for you, and with the few exceptions, but the majority of them are here. And this will allow you to quickly and efficiently review your client's tax file and look at what is going to be the best, most efficient tax outcome for your client, given the myriad of other variables that you need to take into account for tax planning current year, next year, and their particular situation if it's changing. So this is where you can come to play with the tax calculations that TaxCycle will automatically do for you in the background. So first one, as you can see, we have a pension split, but I'm going to circle back to this after. So we can see that I have some RRSP contributions down here, and this is where this is the RRSP contributions for Chris, and it has calculated maximum deduction, and then we can see there is an optimized deduction. There is a little arrow that you can see here, shows there is a link to that. So if I double click on this, field, it is going to take me to where the amount is getting calculated. So same with this optimization. So there is a link. There is a little link that we have just clicked on, and it has opened the amount where it has calculated for me. So we can go back to the optimization. So if I have a reason for client to carry forward those some RSP contribution, maybe they are in low income tax bracket this year, and we know they are going to be in a much higher bracket next year, and we want to save that contribution, and we are allowed to carry forward up to $2,000 without any penalties or issues. So if you decide to do that, then in this case I would claim a different amount from here. So I will change that to yes, and maybe if this maybe I want to have this as a 0, and we can just keep it as a 0. And if just in case you see there is a review message, you can just simply sign that off, and we are good. We don't see any review message here. We are good with this calculation. And then of course along the bottom we have we have here monitors which will give you kind of quick update of how each of these individual changes, as we are making changes to the field, whether or not you're getting a refund, and what is the combined refund balance for both Chris and Chris spouse. You can also add or remove whatever monitors make sense for you to keep track of numbers as you're working through your file. And another way to look at this is that you can look at your T1 summary. So you can go ahead and click on T1 summary, or from the sidebar here, you can get into the summaries and click on T1 summary from there. So I'm going to just simply collapse all just to see that where the summaries are, and then you can see there is a T1 summary that you can look at, which will give you a quick snapshot of how your changes are impacting the various things. Or if you like to look at your joint summary, you can do that, and you can see how those changes affect your coupled return. And you can even drag this if you want to view it simultaneously while you are looking at your options. So if I make my screen a little bit smaller here, and if I do it this way. So if I want to do this, you can simply drag this. So you can look into the summary like this as well, and you will be able to view this simultaneously. So that's good here. We will go back. And if I want, I can also watch my family summary here. And let's go back to the collapse all. We want to go into the summary. So here you can see we do have a family long summary. We have a family summary. So changing in a real time as I am working with my optimization. So as we go through this, I'm going to highlight anything that is relevant. So if we have a section for let's go back to the optimization. So I am going to show you here, there is a section for non-capital losses, net capital losses, capital gain deductions. And in each of these cases, it is going to give me a same information. And then you can also see any of the unused balance that's available in this case to carry forward. So going down a bit further, we have a family related optimization. So highly recommend where you have a couple return, where you have a couple of spouse, a common law couple, that you put them together in a same return, because that's how you are going to get the best optimization for that married or a common law couple. And especially as it gets more complicated with dependent and other income types, this becomes increasingly important as well. So some of the tax credits are dependent on whether or not we are looking at combined income or individual income as well. So here I do have some donations. As you can see in my file, we have some options that work exactly the same way. So if I don't want to claim, if I do not want to claim these donations in a current year, and I might want to carry them forward to the next year for whatever the reason, so I have that option to claim a different amount exactly the same way. And we do have some home buyer amount credits and the tuition. And so the other important one is a medical expense here, as you can see. So in this case, often we want to claim the medical expense on the lower income spouse, and the reason we do that because of the income threshold test that we have to calculate in order to be able to claim the medical expenses. And then we have some discretion in terms of period of the time, as long as it ends in the tax year for which we can claim those medical expense. And you can look at here what TaxCycle is saying is the optimum result. So in this case, if I choose the period with the highest claim, you can see that it improves their tax situation at some point, and you can see the numbers have changed at below as well. So let's go, and you can switch between and play with the situations, whichever you feel giving you best result that within this worksheet as well. And then you have Canada's worker benefits, if it's applicable. If you have some low-income clients where they can take advantage of that, there's an optimization there. And then we do have some provincial optimization as well. Now I am going to go back to the top of the sheet here to go back to the elected split pension here. So where we have our elected split pension amount. So if you have some pensioner and there is an opportunity to save money, this is a really handy little section of the worksheet. It will automatically calculate for you who is the transferee, who is the pensioner, and it will automatically optimize the election for you if it detects that the pension income that's applicable, and it gives you a combined tax saving for the couple here on this line. If you can see, you can definitely see the advantage of doing the split here. And when we do this, of course, we have to send our T1032 so that both spouse can agree, sign off that they have agreed to the splitting of the pension. But if you did, for whatever reason, want to claim a different amount where you wanted to play with optimization, because again, client situation changes or vary greatly, and we know that there is all kind of weird and wonderful things that comes up, and so you might want to claim a different amount, you can do that from here. And if you select yes from here, and then maybe I only want to split 20,000 for whatever the reason. So I can type in here. So for that, I can put it here, and we can immediately see the difference in the tax calculation when I change the split. So that's for T1, and I'm gonna hop into my T2 file that I have prepared for a quick review here. So T2 works in exactly the same way, and there are fewer optimization items, but the same deal here. It's reminding me that I am using my default setting right now, so it has turned off. We did not hit apply when we were making the changes. So I would remind that whenever you are making changes to any of the options, you should be clicking on apply. So I can show you here that if you choose other than other than your default setting, how it shows you the um, review message. So you can see that we did it, and then if there is any other, we need to make sure that we are signing off the review message or go back to what we have chosen. So let's go back to what we have chosen here. And when we are going down, it is going to highlight all the sections where we do have some discussions, and CCA being one of them. So I can claim a different amount here as well. I can claim also on estate schedule at the bottom here. There is a linked box here, which does exactly the same to claim a different amount. But the nice thing about doing it here is that then I can also see how the change is impacting and how it is going to accept these other deductions as well. So that I have set up in my file. So if I click here and you say yes to claim a different amount, and I only want to take 40,000 from here. And as you can see, as I do that, it has changed it is impacting the optimized amount here to claim. And then we have a summary sheet that you can look at. And again, like there is a 5-year summary, there is a T2 summary, which is similar to T1 summary as we looked into. And as you can see that how changes are going to impact the overall amount on returns. And if you're planning for the next year, we do have this tax constant worksheet, as you can see here, where you can input any of the relevant legislative changes that are proposed, but maybe not enacted. So you can take a look here by playing with this worksheet to see what's the potential impact of those changes might have for your client in the next tax year. So with that, I am just going to stop here. There is also a similar worksheet in T3. It works exactly the same way. And I would like to mention that we do have a resources that you can see on the screen. This is the website for that. You can go into there. And if you have any question for T2, T1 or T2 optimization, you can search for that and you will get all the resources available on our website. And if you have any question, you can reach out to our support team as well at info@taxcycle.com. So with that, thank you everyone for joining me today here, and have a great rest of your tax season.